News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
A terrifying situation for casino patrons and employees during an armed robbery yesterday. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Tuesday, May 3rd, 2016. It's going to be another spectacular day in western Montana. Looking outside my patented exclusive weather window, sun's up. Gorgeous, gorgeous, 43 degrees, clear sky in western Montana. Our newscast this morning, sponsored by Kootenai Creek Village, the maintenance-free active adult community in Stevensville, where they offer you the best of western Montana living. This morning's top story, a robbery occurred early yesterday morning in Missoula. Police Public Information Officer Travis Welsh describes what happened.
A little after 4 a.m., officers responded to what was reported as an armed robbery at a casino in the 2700 block of North Reserve Street. Once there, they learned that a lone male dressed from head to toe in black and carrying a silver semi-automatic handgun entered and countered one employee and one patron. He forced the employee and patron into a restroom and told him not to come out until he was gone. They described him as being about 5'7" and above medium build, but said he was wearing a scarf over his face. He was wearing a black hat, shirt, pants, as well as shoes, all black. We've seen a little bit of some surveillance video.
The suspect escaped with an undisclosed amount of cash, which he was carrying in a red and black shoulder bag. He was last seen heading west from the casino on foot. Anyone with information asked to call the Missoula Police Department, 552-6300, or contact Crime Stoppers at 721-4444. 37-year-old Dustin McGough appeared in Missoula Justice Court yesterday, charged with felony theft for allegedly stealing a GMC Terrain SUV, tampering with evidence, and a felony drug warrant for $10,000. Deputy Missoula County Attorney Celine Kepke has details.
The defendant was charged with theft of a vehicle, a 2010 GMC Terrain, valued at over $20,000. He's accused of that. He does have a felony conspiracy to distribute cocaine on his record.
Kepke asked Judge Karen Orzek for more restrictions should McGough be released on bond.
For that reason, Your Honor, the state's asking for bail in the amount of $10,000 with standard conditions, including no contact with the victims in this case, and that he be restrained from their property.
Judge Orzek set bail at $10,000 and ordered McGough to appear again on June 15th. Republican Greg Gianforte says he'll be using his personal wealth to help fund his run for Montana governor. The acknowledgement comes ahead of the release of his campaign finance reports, the latest deadline for all statewide office seekers to file fundraising and spending reports with the Commissioner of Political Practices. Gianforte campaign officials say the Bozeman businessman raised more than $146,000 between March 28th and April 26th from individual contributors. Spokesman Aaron Flint said Gianforte spent about $200,000 of his own money during the current reporting period. In an interview with a television station in Billings, Gianforte called his contribution, quote, a small fraction of the total, end quote. Governor Steve Bullock's campaign is worried that Gianforte would dig into his personal wealth in his attempt to oust the first-term Democrat. Utah Associate Athletic Director Kyle Brennan has been named the new athletic director at Montana State University. MSU President Waded Cruzado announced Brennan's hiring yesterday. She says Brennan puts the student first, aspires for excellence in competition and in the classroom, and sees great potential in Bobcat athletics. Brennan was chosen from a group of 5 finalists to succeed Peter Fields, whose contract was not renewed after 14 years. Brennan says he plans to be an aggressive fundraiser for athletics and that he wants the program's teams to win championships. At Utah, Brennan was the department liaison for football and men's basketball, oversaw multiple facilities renovations, and oversaw the school's relationship with Under Armour. Brennan will begin his new job around July 1st. April seemed unseasonably warm in western Montana. Well, it was, according to meteorologist Jeff Kitzmiller with the National Weather Service. There's data to back that up.
Around here, especially if you take just Missoula particularly, we had our warmest April since we've been keeping records here at the airport in 1948. It was the warmest one. There's a couple back when we were taking observations in different locations that barely beat us, but in our record that we're using, it was the warmest.
Many fear the warm weather will deplete snowpack, leaving Montana exposed to a difficult fire season, but that may not be the case.
There's probably a few areas that may lose it a little bit quicker, and that might be around here, closer to Missoula, maybe up into northwest Montana. But as you get into some of the higher elevations, like the Bitterroot Range, down near Butte and the Pintlers. Those actually went up a little bit recently with that little cool down that we had.
Kitzmiller said the fire forecast for the region is still moderate. A lot will depend on how much precipitation we receive during the summer. An appeals court has cleared the way for Bo Bergdahl, of course lives in Idaho, his legal case to resume by rejecting prosecutors' arguments that defense attorneys were given too much leeway on classified documents. The U.S. Army Court of Criminal Appeals denied prosecutors' appeals in a ruling released late Saturday by defense attorneys. The court also lifted a stay from February on proceedings in Bergdahl's case at Fort Bragg. Prosecutors argued the trial judge erred in deciding the defense could obtain classified documents without an extra layer of approval from authorities who had originally restricted the information. More delays could come if there's another appeal. Bergdahl walked off an outpost in Afghanistan in 2009. He faces charges of desertion and misbehavior before the enemy. Final data calculations are in for the 2015 travel season in the state. Assistant Director Kara Grau with the Montana Institute for Tourism and Recreation Research says the numbers tell a compelling story for the success of tourism in Montana.
Overall, we had about 11.7 million non-resident travelers pass through Montana for one reason or another during 2015. And those folks spent almost $3.7 billion while they were here. And of course, they spent that on a variety of things, everything from their fuel purchases, of course, to eating out at restaurants or bars or retail purchases, all sorts of different things.
Rao says the direct economic impact from the $3.7 billion spent was $3.1 billion.
Directly injected into our economy. When we look at the flow of that throughout the economy, when you add in those induced and indirect impacts to the state, the combined impact of that was $5.1 billion. Quite a big injection into our economy.
Rao said visitation is also up from the same period in 2014. The Montana Center for Horsemanship is planning a $2 million arena in Dillon. The Montana Standard reports the arena, for which the center will break ground today, actually make that tomorrow, will serve as a training ground for University of Montana Western students studying natural horsemanship, a form of training based on understanding equine behavior. A UMW spokesman said the university's horsemanship program is the only similar degree program in the country. He says students from across the country come to study in the program and its concentrations in management, psychology, science, and instruction. The Horsemanship Center, which already has 84 stalls, an indoor and outdoor arena, 3 pens, and a maintenance barn, will gain 44 new pens in addition to the new arena as part of that expansion. Our News Talk time now, 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Ample sunshine today and Wednesday with our high temperatures in the low 80s. We'll bring in a slight chance of a shower late Wednesday night. Showers and thunderstorms in the forecast Thursday and Friday. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.